Okay, good afternoon. Welcome to Iyun to Lean On. We're doing Hilchos Krias Shema Siman Ayin Daled, number 74. I want to talk today about really the basis for this halacha. This siman talks about a concept called libo roas erva. Besides the fact that when you're saying Krias Shema, the Gemara says you can't see erva, you can't see a man's genitals, you can't see a woman's vulva, and you can't see a woman's breasts. I would assume. We'll see maybe about that maybe more tomorrow in Atzum and Ayin Hey. But over here, we're talking about libo roas erva. I mean, you're a man and you're wearing a scarf, or even you're wearing a loose-fitted shirt. However, there's a space. It's not the bottom of the shirt is not tucked into a belt or something like that. So therefore, your heart technically can see that your genitals. If you can see your genitals, that's a problem, because the way the Mishnah Berurah explains, it says the Torah says lo yira b'chayar v'tavar. Your eyes, you can't see erva while you're saying kriyat. So therefore, there's a pasuk also of v'libi ra har b'chachma. My heart saw a lot of wisdom. So it uses the word ra'iyah, seeing. So I think this is what Rashi actually says, but it's not in the Gemara. V'libi ra har b'chachma. So your heart also sees. Literally, it sees. So don't think your heart just understands wisdom. It actually sees, and therefore physically sees. So therefore, if you're wearing a loose-fitted shirt, your genitals are sticking out of the bottom. It's going to see it, and you can't say kriyat shema. A woman, right? Her vulva is usually not parallel to her lave, her heart, right? It's more tucked in, it's more in. So therefore, there's no problem. Libro, as everybody says in Siman Dalet. Only for a man this is a problem technically. Now, this reason given that libro as erva is a problem for a kriyat shema, the Shulchan Aruch extends this to making brachos throughout the siman, brachos, learning all these things you can't do libro as erva. To me, I don't know. I don't understand this concept libro as erva that it means your heart actually sees. Does your heart actually see? No, it doesn't see anything. But I'd like to explain this halacha based on the theme that I was saying yesterday about the halachas that you can't say kriyat shema, only kriyat shema when you're in bed with somebody and your genitals or your anus is touching another man or another woman. You can't say it. The reason being over there is because you're too comfortable. You're not getting out of bed there, right? You're not ready to get out of bed. You're too comfortable in bed. So it's not called a kumecha. And here also, I think the idea is when you're walking around without a shirt, or even if you're walking around loose-fitted shirt, you're not wearing underwear, you just feel too good. You feel great walking around, right? People feel great walking around naked. It feels great to walk around naked. If you never tried it, go into a room by yourself and walk around naked. You feel pretty good, right? Clothes encumber you. It's part of society. If you live in society, you gotta wear clothes, but you feel really good with yourself, really comfortable. When you feel really comfortable, it precludes you from doing the mitzvah of Krias Shema. The mitzvah of Krias Shema, as we said, is saying the first pasuk of Krias Shema. And as the pasuk says, to listen to Krias Shema. It doesn't mean you have to concentrate and think in your mind, have the words appear, so to speak, in your mind, Shema Yisrael. People have difficulty having concentration for Krias Shema because they have so much kavana for Perush Hamilim, for understanding the words. No, just say Shema, but you have to pay attention. You're learning. You have to, in order to Torah Shebechtav, you have to understand what you're saying. You don't have to think it so deeply, but you have to Shema Yisrael. Here, just think of it. Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad. You have to at least be present, understanding. When you're too comfortable, you're not walking around with a shirt, or you're working around with a loose-fitted shirt, not wearing underwear. You feel too comfortable, and it's not the right time. It's not appropriate to say Kriya Shema at that time because you can't really even pay attention to the words that you're saying. Forget about concentrate. At least pay attention to what you're saying. You can't do that. You're too comfortable. It's very hard to do that. So Chazal advise you not to say Kriya Shema in such circumstances. I don't think it has anything to do with your Libo Roas Erva is not because your heart sees the Erva literally. It's just the state that you're in when you're not wearing a shirt, wearing clothes, or you're just wearing a loose-fitted shirt and no underwear. You just feel too comfortable. You're not in the position to say Kriya Shema. However, other brachos, I don't think it's a problem because other brachos, you don't really have to understand what the words are. You just say the words. Divrei Torah, other Divrei Torah, Torah Sheba'al Peh. You just say, you can say Divrei Torah Sheba'al Peh, Torah Shebechtav, where you're not matzuva to understand what you're saying. I think it wouldn't be a problem either. Davening also shouldn't be a problem as long as maybe you're wearing a shirt, because the end of the simon says if you're not wearing a shirt, it's not called Omer Lifnei HaMelech. You wouldn't stand in front of a king like that. Maybe you stand in front of a king without underwear, no, you wouldn't. But So maybe for that reason you couldn't daven. But for all other things, saying brachos and other divrei Torah, I think it'll be okay. That's my assessment of this halacha. I don't think it has anything to do with it, your heart actually seeing. I don't think your heart can actually see anything. It can understand things. I think that's the pasuk Liri Raza Chachma. It uses seeing as understanding, but I don't think it literally means to see. If you think it does, maybe you're Amelia Bedelia. But anyway, hope you enjoyed today's share. See you in the next one.